When it comes to the New Orleans Pelicans, you seriously have no idea what Pelicans team you are going to see. There are nights that this team is incredibly hot from the three-point line, and there are nights that this team is incredibly cold from the three-point line. As a matter of fact, it feels like the cold nights come far more often than the hot nights. There are nights that this team looks like one of the worst defenses in history, and then there are nights like last night versus the Boston Celtics where the New Orleans Pelicans rally together and pull off the improbable. Throughout the course of the season, it feels like Stan Van Gundy has struggled to find players who are committed to playing both sides of the basketball. You see, the Pelicans have a very talented roster, but the effort has not consistently been there for this New Orleans Pelicans team. How can the Pelicans go from being outscored by the Phoenix Suns 41-12 in the fourth quarter, ending up on the wrong side of history, to demolishing the Boston Celtics in a come-from-behind victory in which they trailed by 24? This victory for the Pelicans was the Pelicans' biggest come-from-behind victory in franchise history. And I use the word demolish very loosely. As a Pelicans fan, I don't get to say that word too often. Look, I know the Pelicans won by 5 and Zion struggled early on. Let me just have this one. Last night felt like one of the biggest, if not the biggest win of the season for the New Orleans Pelicans. 13-17 sounds so much better than 12-18. I don't feel like fans ask for a lot. Be entertaining and be consistent. If you can't consistently play at a high level, then make sure you're consistently bringing energy. Throughout the course of Lonzo's career, it's felt like he's been one of the most inconsistent point guards in the league. But as of late, it truly feels like he's been turning a corner. And I think it's safe to say that the rest of the NBA is taking notice. Coming into the season, the Pelicans chose not to extend Lonzo Ball. It seemed like they were preparing for life without Ball. They drafted a point guard 13th overall in the NBA draft. For those of you that don't know, that's a lottery pick. Yeah. This video, we have to talk about the possibility of Lonzo Ball getting traded and what his future holds. But before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another Get Like Coop video. And that's facts. If you enjoy my content, the chances are you'll enjoy my streams. The link to my stream is going to be in the description below. Also, in that same description, you'll find the link to my football channel, a channel that if you like football, I would advise you to check it out. My last Lonzo Ball New Orleans Pelicans video was titled something like Lonzo Ball and the New Orleans Pelicans are going out sad. And I didn't really mean that the team was going out sad. What I meant was they were a letdown. Maybe I did mean they were going out sad, but here's the thing. I talked about a lot of positives in that video. I highlighted how good Lonzo Ball was despite not shooting a good percentage from the field and the three-point line. I think a lot of people make mistakes when they watch basketball and they tie stats to exactly how good or how productive a player is, when in fact stats never tell the full story. Anybody that has watched Lonzo Ball, anybody that has seen Lonzo Ball play knows that he has a game that goes far beyond the stat sheet. To my knowledge, Lonzo has never been somebody to go out and flat out hunt stats like certain players in the NBA. Now, that's not me saying stats are bad, but that stats don't tell the full story. I can't emphasize that enough. Not everybody can be James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, LeBron James. Sometimes your best asset is knowing your role, knowing how you can make other players better. Players like Josh Hart and Lonzo Ball are so important to a team. They're not going to get all of the love, but it really does feel like they deserve a lot of it. When Lonzo came to New Orleans from LA, he was only shooting 33% from the three-point line. That's something that had to change if he was going to play in a lineup with Zion Williamson. Teams are so scared of Zion that they regularly load the paint. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 guys. It's not unheard of to see 3 or 4 guys down there trying to stop Zion Williamson. Is that a small hyperbole? Maybe, but with the attention that Zion garners, there's going to be a lot of open shots to go around, and it's going to be up to the team around him to capitalize and shoot the ball with confidence. And that's exactly what Lonzo Ball has been doing. He's up to 39% from the three-point line and 43% from the field. If you think his shooting is some anomaly, he's shooting 74% from the free throw line. That's an 18% increase from his 56% last season. And Lonzo fans, I don't want you guys getting confused and thinking this is me saying that Zion made Zoe. With Zoe's drastic shooting improvement, he'd be an asset to just about any team in the NBA. When you can shoot the ball at a high level, you open up things for the entire team around you. Start to develop your own gravity. You go under the screen, now you're going to pay. In February, Lonzo has averaged 17 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists. He's shooting 46% from the field and 47% from the three-point line, while also knocking down 83% of his free throws. A great example of Lonzo's improved confidence is this play right here. He sees the defenders back off, not respect him. He pulls up and pulls a Tim Duncan, goes straight glass, and the points, they count all the same. Those stats that Bleacher Report posted last season, let's go ahead and delete those from our memory. Now, of course, this isn't the first time Zoe has become incredibly hot. What we want to see from Zoe is consistency and sustained improvement. Did I mention Zoe is also taking almost 8 threes a game? The volume is there, and the rest of the league has to be taking notice. Which brings us to the topic of, is Zoe's future going to be with the New Orleans Pelicans? Coming into this season, the Pelicans didn't extend Lonzo Ball or Josh Hart. Both of these players are going to be restricted free agents, and both of these players have prices that just keep going up. When it comes to ZO2 and when it comes to Josh Hart, what do fair contracts look like for either of these players? They're both very talented. They both make teams a lot better, but what's their value? Leave your comment down below. What would you be comfortable paying Lonzo Ball and Josh Hart to play basketball for your team? The Chicago Bulls have had interest in Lonzo Ball for over a year, and the interest has seemingly been mutual. 2 years ago, it was reported that Lonzo wanted to be a Knick or a Bull if he was traded from the Los Angeles Lakers. When things were looking down for the Pelicans, it was reported that the Pelicans would be sellers at this year's trade deadline. It was reported that New Orleans may not just be selling Lonzo and JJ Redick, but also Eric Bledsoe may be on his way out too. Reportedly, Chicago is the most likely landing spot if Lonzo were to get traded. This is based off of multiple factors. The Bulls have faced a ton of adversity this season. Zach LaVine has been going off, and the Bulls have their eyes set on the playoffs. I'm not sure I would be shocked if Chicago made a move. And I also wouldn't be shocked if Lonzo's future was with the New Orleans Pelicans. If Lonzo were to get traded, let me know what team you guys would want to see him on. I think the Celtics or the Clippers would be really interesting. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Get Like Coop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.